So hey guys, before I start the video, I just wanted to apologize. I wanted to make and upload this video yesterday, but sadly due to my internet service provider, I was unable to do it because they left me without internet for 7 hours. So go eat a fucking dick, Spectrum, and I hope you choke on it. Fuck you. What's up guys, it's Obliviouz Gamer here, and today I will be talking about my impressions regarding the Fairy Tail game that was developed by Gust and published by Koei Tecmo. So I have been playing this game probably more than, I would say around 14 hours. So to start, I want to say I am really enjoying this game and having fun. However, I do think it has flaws and it would not be for everyone. Let's begin with the story. The game starts after the events that occurred in Tenru Island, where members of Fairy Tail, after fighting Acnologia, were sealed and are sort of like in a stasis state for 7 years. So when finally they are free and they come back, they find that their guild has had a tough time for the past 7 years since they were gone. So it's up to the player to help Fairy Tail rebuild itself and restore to itself to its former glory. So I think the story starts at a great point for an RPG game, since you're going to be upgrading parts of your guild, rebuilding it, gathering points to rank up and become the top guild in Fiore. But for new people who have never watched or read Fairy Tail, I feel the story could be a bit confusing at parts. Yes, it's not hard to follow if you have never been exposed to Fairy Tail, but I do feel you would miss a lot, such as at the beginning you encounter Jalal, and obviously if you haven't read or watched Fairy Tail, you won't understand necessarily what he means to Ursa and Fairy Tail, and what happened to him to be imprisoned and what he wants to atone his sins or try. Another moment, for example, is during the Grand Magic Games. Jalal is disguised as Mistogen, and again, not much is explained on who is Mistogen, so people who haven't followed Fairy Tail might be at times just be like, why is this important, or just confused as to why was that being taken note. Another thing to note is there are parts during dialogue where one character speaks and then the other character doesn't, and then create this weird moment where you only have one character being voiced and the other is silence. You can already see by that they had budget constraints. Another thing I want to point out is, for those who don't follow Fairy Tail, I would say this franchise is known for having a lot of fan service, and you will be getting a decent amount of that in this game, ranging from just random bikini scenes to being able to have your characters fight in bikinis. So yeah, it is something, if it's something you like, it is in the game. Cutscenes in this game can look nice at times, but most of the times you can see it can be a little rough. Granted, I want to state the graphics aren't everything, at least for me. I value more gameplay, but you can see this game could have used more time in the oven. And as I mentioned, I feel that if players are just dropped because the Tenru Island arc is already like in the not in the middle, but it's been a while already in Fairy Tail. So like I say, you are missing a lot of character development or even learning about certain characters and their history with Fairy Tail. Now gameplay. So this game behaves like your typical turn-based RPG. Granted, the combat has an interesting system by adding a grid mechanic where enemies are located in squares and your attacks range will cover a different amount of squares. And it can be really fun since, for example, some moves can knock back opponents to another square, so you can create moments to line up to attack them in a more effective way. There's also the Fairy Gauge that, if it is filled completely, features a powerful option that unleashes Magic Chain. This allows players to cause a chain to continue by tagging the next character to attack consecutively right after another, and it can end and a finisher, which stops the chain with a final powerful attack. Also, you will eventually unlock unison raids, which are nice and cool moves you can perform with your party members. There's a nice size of character cast with 16 playable characters with unique moves, strengths, elemental affinities, personalities, and another great thing is as you level your characters, you will not just be gaining new moves, but some of your moves will be upgrading and becoming stronger. You will also be trying to improve the bonds of the characters since improving their bonds grants you bonus such as not failing magic chains, for example, or being harder to fail magic chains. You will obviously, due to how the game works, be taking requests, for example, not just from your board, but from random villagers. And the game has this system where it wants you to sort of like fulfill certain objectives before you can move on, ranging from, taking duels with members of the guild to completing tasks and helping out random individuals. Also, you will be undertaking side quests. However, so far, most of them has just been very when it comes to plot, like this one, for example. So don't expect too much from them. A lot of them are just go to this place, beat this enemy, and come back. Or go to this place, try to search for a specific item, and come back. However, one thing that really helps this to not make it annoying or tedious is that the fast travel and loading in this game is super quick. So you're just fast traveling and it makes it less tedious. And it helps a lot because you're going to be doing this a lot. Especially if you're trying to gather, renown points to rank your character higher, or if you're just trying to grind some side quests to, level up your characters. Also, I do advise raising the difficulty because this game can be very easy. I managed to defeat a level 50 enemy with level 20 characters. And also, many times since I do the side quests, I end up over leveling too much and the story quests just become very easy. So just keep in mind if you're somebody that likes challenge or is looking for challenge, that you might consider trying to make the game harder, especially since this game has even an option for you to auto battle. So it's very chill at many moments. Granted, this comes from the developers of the Atelier series, so it's something to consider since the Atelier series tends to be very chill and very relaxing RPGs. Overall, like I said before, I personally enjoy the game despite its flaws, but I don't think it is for everyone. I think that if you're a fairy tale fan, you will definitely be enjoying the game despite its flaws. It can be very fun, and being able to play as some of your favorite fairy tale characters is not something that happens often. However, if you are not a fairy tale fan or new, I can't recommend it. I would say wait for a sale. Just because of the fact that plot-wise, you could have a hard time understanding some motives and reasons for some characters, especially if you have never read or watched. And because like I said, yes, it's not hard to follow the story. Anybody can turn the game and they're going to be able to follow the story. But there's a lot of context and a lot of things that they could be missing out, and they might be just wondering why certain specific things were highlighted or talked about. And I think the game, at least from what I've been playing, hasn't done a good job for beginners who specifically haven't experienced the fairy tale story. Also, because of quality, it is very rough sometimes. Some scenes have only one voice actor, despite having more than one character talking, so it feels like the character's just talking to a wall. Graphically, at times, it can look okay to rough, and it can be a very simple and easy game, which for those looking for a challenge, it might not be for you. So, if you're a fairy tale fan, I think you should definitely check this game out, give it a try. If you're not, then I think you should wait if you're interested. Wait for a sale, I would say. I would say $40 to $30 if you're not a fan. Also, one thing I want to point out is Koei Tecmo, as always, in their amazing fashion, have added a lot of DLC, a lot of customs. The Season Pass is worth $60, and the Season Pass, as far as I've read, will have a limited edition growth Lacrima. It will include the characters Levi, Leon, and Lysana and Elfman. So 4 characters. It will include difficult requests and quests, and an additional dungeon for $60. Just keep that in mind. Plus, they're selling a lot of costumes. Again, it's Koei Tecmo. It's something that they have done. But I do feel I also need to point this out for this impression. So, if you are interested in the game, I just want to point out that, yeah, there is a lot of DLC for this game. So yeah, overall, I enjoy the game for what it is. What are your thoughts, guys? Do you want to see a next installment? Are you happy playing this game? Are you not enjoying it? Feel free to talk about it. So yeah, guys, this has been Obliviouz Gamer, and I hope you'll have a wonderful day or night wherever you are.